Can you just go and check that he's recording? Good morning, I'm Helen Type from iCare, iMove, and we are teaching Pilates today. Not any old Pilates, we're going to do a bit of restorative work today, and we are going to use the foam rollers to assist movement and also resist movement as well. So we'll get a bit of a core workout, but in addition to that, we'll also get a bit of a myofascial release. So without further ado, let's have a look at alignment. So let's start with our rollers facing towards me, and I want you to have your feet in the middle of the roller and roll in onto your big toe, ankle and heel, so you got a bit of sensory feedback from your roller. Okay, now what I'm looking for is a flat foot, and then to start with I just want you to rise up onto your tiptoes and lower. So it's a rise and a lower. Now you've been doing Pilates with me for a long time, so I want you to think we're engaged through the pelvic floor, we are long through the spine, braced around the center, and we're trying to think about staying in the midline of the body and maintaining neutral alignment through your pelvis. So rising and lowering is really, this is just helping us to set the scene, getting ready for the session. This helps to switch on those core muscles. Lovely. Okay, and then release. Good job. Okay, so from here, let's bend those knees. So the knees will come off lock, and we're going to lower the tail towards the ground. Reach out your arms to me. Bring your hands to center, and let's repeat that. So we're starting to slowly mobilize through the knee joint. Keep your eye gaze towards me. You keep going. As soon as we start, I think the timer comes on, and then suddenly all the heat just pours out of the radiator. Lovely. So this is waking up the knees. So when you're down there, stay there. Come forward onto the balls of your feet and then rise up. Now use the roller to help stabilize you. So we are lowering. We're coming forward. So the arms are there. And then we rise up onto the balls of the feet. Heels down. Good, good. Lowering down. Coming forward. Rising up and heels down. Good. This time up onto the balls of your feet, lowering down, come back onto your heels and stand. Should we do that one more time? So come up, 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 tiptoes, lower down, heels down, and release your arms. Well done. Okay, so without further ado, we're moving on. I said further ado twice now. Pop your toes and the ball of the foot up onto the roller. Use the wall for support if you need to. And then I just want you to pop the heel down to the ground just for a moment. This will enable a lovely stretch through the back of the leg. Brace through your center. Use your breath. And if you feel that this stretch is not quite there, maybe you could adjust your toes. So just try and relax your knee joint as well, because what tends to happen here is that we start to bunch up through the thigh. So just relax, relax, relax. And then we switch side. So ball of foot, toes on the roller, heel down. And just start to enjoy that stretch going up, 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 up. Ah. Leaning in if you need to. Think about how the ankles are feeling. So we've gone bang straight in, haven't we? So hopefully when we're warming up your beautiful bodies. Well done. And then release. Good job, team. Okay, so I want you to come down onto your knees straight away. Don't worry about style or technique here. We're just mobilizing the body. And in the first place, sit back, bottom onto heels, if you're okay with that. Lovely. Okay, so hands to roller. I just want you to give yourself a little massage of your hands, fingertips to heels of hands. So just rolling out as if we're rolling out some pastry. Good job. Come up onto all fours. Relax. So we're on the top side of the feet. And we're going to just roll forward. We're not rolling anywhere. The heels of the hands are on your roller. You're just going to shift your weight so your shoulders go beyond the roller and back again. What you might start to experience is your core starting to fire up and kick in. Okay, so we're shifting the weight forward. Now, what the lovely thing about this is as you start to perform this, you might notice your hips want to come into neutral and you can take yourself further forward. Arms are straight, shoulders engaged. Core will naturally fire up here. Last time, stay where you are, curl toes under heels. Okay, now if you want to, you lift one knee, then the other. Okay, so we're doing this just so, believe it or not, this is all warming up stuff. I'm like, oh God, we went really quick then. The reason being, I need your muscles nice and warm before we actually do some quite deep body work. Knees down, toes connect, knees go nice and wide. We roll the roller forward and start to give yourself a big stretch out of child's pose. Now there's a couple of things going on here. Firstly, this will be quite intense in your arms and shoulders. So if you feel the need to put your elbows down on the mat in the first place, that's fine. Now, it might be that you just move from one position to the other. So it might be that you're going for stretching out your arms fully or elbows down. So mix from one to the other if you feel you need to take a bit of release off your shoulders because there's a lot of energy here, team. Well done. Okay, we're going to slow this down. So from here, we're going to quickly come into position. I'm going to lie along the length of the roller. So tail one end, back of head the other end, feet nice and wide to support you, and quickly come into position, okay? Feet nice and wide. Okay, so give yourself a moment. Okay, can we switch cameras to that? Lovely, thank you. He's got it, he's with me. So, a couple of things. Firstly, just start to relax onto this. Feet have to be nice and wide so you've got a really lovely stable base of support. And if you can, palms down and hands on the floor, phase one, okay? Now just gently rock the roller side to side. But I want you to feel the roller just starting to kiss along your inside of your shoulder blades. So we're getting a middle back massage here. Take your time as you roll side to side and just allow your body weight and gravity just to melt your shoulder blades around the roller. Okay, now take your palms up. Take your arms out to 3 and 9 o'clock. Give yourself a moment and then see if your arms will start to come towards the ground, okay? Tuck in your chin. Start to walk your feet closer together. And if you want to, you can bring your heels right butt up against the edge of the roller. If you find that's too unsteady, stagger your feet. You just got to do what feels comfortable for you, okay? I don't want you to feel unsafe at all. The nice thing about heels on the butt of the roller is that we, I love your cat, Jane, so it's quite distracting. The cat's just climbing all over the place. The nice thing about your heels against the roller, when you're in this position and you're unstable, you're sending reassurances to your brain that, oh yeah, I know where I am in space. It's okay. I can feel my heels. That can become quite intense. So where does it become intense? Around the knee and the low back. So keep your toes relaxed if you can. Make them wiggle jiggle if you need to. And we're still holding this position, still relaxing down. The weight of gravity is just coming down on us. Now that the feet are closer together, we've reduced our base of support and consequently we've heightened our core stability. So there's a lot of good stuff going on already. Okay, now I want you to take your right arm, a bit of a balance challenge, okay team? Your right arm is going to float from touching the deck on this 3 o'clock and it's going to come all the way up towards the ceiling. Take it back down. Your left hand, which is busy at 9 o'clock, is going to come up towards the ceiling and float back down. Now you'll notice as you start to repeat this, one on the right, one on the left, that there's a lot of movement through the body. You'll feel your feet are working hard, your thighs are working hard to stabilize you. And that is all completely normal. So one more on the right, one more on the left. That might feel quite strong into the shoulders, weirdly enough, and heavy. And that's all completely normal. Now here's the change. Right hand comes into ceiling, right thumb touches the ground over your head. It comes back up to the ceiling and then out to the side. Well done. Come into the center. Left thumb touches ground overhead. Comes up towards the ceiling and back out to the side. Okay. So this is position 1. So right thumb touches ground overhead, back of hand on left. You're going to come into center and if you want to, bring in both hands and work in simultaneously. So left thumb overhead, right knuckles to 3 o'clock. So we go, you have to work really quite intensely here. So one arm is going out of the midline, the other arm is staying in the midline. This is exactly rubbing your belly and patting your head. So hang in there, team. We have one more of these moves. If you feel you've just turned into a knot, that's also completely fine. Well done and relax. So let your heels go for a second. Okay, so if you've got a bobble or your hair is long, just be mindful because I don't want you to get it caught. So from here, what I'd like us to do is take the feet nice and wide because we're going to bring hips into play in a moment. And then what we're going to do, we're going to roll from the midline. We're going to roll on the right side across the right shoulder blade and down the back of the right arm. So roll in, so you're turning on your side to me. And then you're coming up and over with your hands and rolling to the left. Ooh, I've just gone over my power pack. And then we repeat. So we go on one side. So you can make this as big or small as you like. Okay, and when you go on to each side, go through a little bit of a massage. So you're feeling some energy around the shoulder blades, okay? Good stuff. Just going to take that out of my ear for a second. There you go. Looks really pretty in here today, doesn't it? Lovely. Okay, so how are we feeling? So far, so good. Thumbs up, everyone's happy. Good, 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 good. I'm going to come off the roller for a minute because this whole rollers, myofascial release, such an important part of our work around Pilates and core stability. Fascia release as we get older, we get tight, and some of the work we're doing now will just help us to release off a little. Okay, so we're lying on our backs now. And I want you to take the roller under your, between your neck and shoulders. Okay, now I don't mind where your legs are for now, so if you want them nice and wide and just dropping in on each other, that's fine. But I'm looking for a massage as you take your head to one side and then to the other. Now apply a bit of pressure when you do this as you roll your head right to left. Now to add on to this, if you want to, you can hold on to the ends of the roller. Now this is, again, this will show up some imbalances around the shoulder as well. So if it's too uncomfortable to hold the roller with your hands, that's fine. But I notice myself, my elbows come down, but it's quite strong into my back. I'm just going to massage my head as I just go right to left. Simple thing, right? A real simple thing. Okay, chin to chest. Chin lift, chin to chest, chin lift. This goes against everything we believe, all right? It's just giving us multiple chins. Lovely. Oh, I have no idea what happened then. Okay, so the next thing from here, we are going to use the roller for support, and we're going to bring up one leg and then the other, down one leg and then the other. Okay, so we're holding onto the roller, your head is lifted, take a breath in, exhale, lift, exhale, lift, exhale, lower and float, and lower and float. So this is the first part, up, up. Now if you want to with your hands, you can take the roller away. Hold on with your hands. So we're lifting with the legs and the roller is above your head on the floor. Up, up, brace, brace, lower, lower, brace, brace. But we're barely putting energy in our feet at all. There's very little weight here. A progression would be to take the roller to the crown of your head and lift, lower, lower, lift, lift, lower, lower, lift, lift, lower, lower. Brilliant. How you doing, team? Lower and lower, last time. Lower, lower, good job. Okay. Ooh, still working the shoulders overhead. Find the thing that works for you. Honestly, please, whatever you do, this is about your workout and the things that you're good at, all right? So soles of the feet together, knees, just let them drop out and relax so we can just open up through the hip for a moment. Okay. So we're going to take your foam roller, we're going to pop it underneath your hips. So I've lifted my bottom. The roller is now at the bottom of my tail, my lower back, and I'm just going to settle my weight here again. Again, pressure. So we're allowing gravity just to pull us down a little. Okay. Stretch out your legs one at a time. If you find that is too much, bend one knee. So I'm looking for more of a straight leg. It won't be straight because you just got to breathe in and release this. Team, you should be tight around your pubic line up into your pelvis. So there should be quite a lot of tension here, which is normal. However, tends to get a little too tight. So I want you now to lift your right leg and straighten off your right knee. Pop it down on the floor. Lift left leg. Squeeze out left knee and release. Do it again on the right and release down on the left and release down. Right leg comes in towards your chest and then pops out towards the wall. So we're coming in and out. In and out. 3 more on one side only. 2. Well done. Last time. And then pop your heel down. Left side. Knee in. Foot out. Again, some of you might start to feel this in the groin or maybe the back. There is a counter stretch that we'll do at the end of this. 2 more. Last time. Well done. Feet down for a moment. Walk your feet into your bottom. Wrap your hands around the roller. So the roller doesn't roll away from you. Your hands are just cupped around the roller and you've got your knees into your chest. Now have a little play with this, a little massage if you want to. Now, from here, what if your right leg points towards the ceiling? What if you switched? What if we created a bicycle motion? So at the moment we're pointing towards the sky. What if we made this bigger? Slow. I'm enjoying my crunchy knees. Pointy toes, you don't have to rush this. Just enjoy it, how it feels in your thighs, your knees. Guess what this is called? Bicycle. What if we reversed it? There you go. There's your challenge. Don't forget to use that breath. Lovely. Well done. Okay, now, if you want to, let's have a look at, see if I'm giving you options. I keep saying, if you want to. So still holding on to the roller, what you can do is extend your legs towards the ceiling. Ceiling's fine. Now, we are working at straightening off the knee joint. So from here with straight legs, your hips are elevated. We're drifting the toes towards the face. At this point, what you can do is lift the roller. So bring the roller higher up your back so you can get to that lovely flexion and you're more assisted in your back. If you just want to keep the roller on your tail and your bottom, that's completely fine. But then just slowly, slowly allow the feet to come towards the face. Now, if your boobs are in the way and you're struggling to breathe, more of a wider foot position and relax if you can. Now, if you feel in balance where you can take your hands away from the roller, sweep your arms along the floor towards 3 and 9 o'clock. If you want to, 12 o'clock, great. And then if you want to, from 12 o'clock, come up towards your shins and assist the stretch. So you're holding on to the back of the calf or the ankle or even the feet. Now this is strong, okay? So we're going to do a lovely counter release at the end of it. So it is strong. Find the thing that works for you. Use your breath. Release the movement. Draw your knees into chest. And when you're ready, you put your feet down on the floor safely. Adjust your roller so your hips are elevated. And just give yourself a moment. Well done, team. Woo! Lovely. So from here, we're going to roll the bottom downwards towards your feet, and we're going to work on moving the roller up towards your bottom of your shoulder blades. Got it? One swift move. It's really flattering move here. So I thought I was clever with my power pack in my shoulders. Killing me. Okay. So a couple of things that happen straight away. The chin wants to come in towards the chest. I want you to push up. So give me some length in the front of your neck. Allow your arms to relax. So this is our, I used to always describe it as our swimming pool exercise. Okay, and then now from there we fold over. Now guys, if this is triggering of any vertigo or any pain in the neck, or you don't like it, we don't do that. Hard rule here. If this is not for you and it's making you feel dizzy because there's a lot of deep work that's going on here, don't do it. I'm looking for you to relax over. So there was a time I couldn't do this at all. So I gaze towards the ceiling. If you want to adjust your arms, you can. This is allowing us to have quite a significant stretch through the front of the ribs. Okay. Again, options. You can lift your hips off the ground to get your head on the mat. That's totally up to you. I quite like my hips down on the mat, because I can really feel the stretch in my centre. Okay, so from there, well, that's interesting. Makes me chicky choky. Okay, from there, let's bring in the knees. So the shoulder blades are now rested. Your shoulders are elevated. Okay, bring in your knees, take your arms out to the side. We drop your knees to one side and centre, other side and centre. I'm just going to take a moment to roll backwards. Somehow I've migrated. Okay, so we're working the obliques. So think about your breath. So as your arms are elevated on the roller, everything is being challenged. So it does feel more intense than it normally does in this session. So bear with, you're doing a really good job, okay? Lovely. This is all your waistline work. And I'm looking on Zoom and you're looking strong. Well done, team. Okay, release, relax, and give yourself a moment. Well done. Okay, come out of position, go get yourself a drink, give yourself a moment. I might do exactly the same. Okie dokie, okie. So the foam, densely packed foam rollers aren't supposed to be particularly comfortable. What I'd like us to do is a bit of a release around the ribs and the obliques. So let's see how you feel by coming down onto your forearm and just tucking that roller in that space above the hip, below the rib. Now for a moment, I just want you to roll forwards towards me and then away from me. Now it might be a little tender here because we're in your trunk area where there are a lot of organs. And we're just getting into that space between the bottom of the ribs and there you go, and above the hip. Now play with this for me. Think about how that's feeling in your back maybe. The obliques There are waistline muscles. Sometimes they don't get stretched off enough, and that can sort of work towards hip pain. They're there to stabilize the trunk. If you want to, and you've got a sweet spot, so we talk about those sweet spots where you're like, I know it's not particularly comfortable, but oh, it's starting to make me feel really good. This is one of them. So right in the middle. So we're not forward facing, we're not rolling it onto our bag at all. Did you hear that? Then see if you can just stretch out. Can you hear the breath? It's like, ow. If you want to, I'm giving you so many options. If you want to, I keep saying if you want to, you can stretch out, elongate your top leg. When you're ready, come back and then roll towards the back, roll towards the front. You may be experiencing some heat here. Push up, and when you're ready, let's switch sides. It's kind of a really interesting one here, because now I've done all of that on one side, I feel really unbalanced. So I can feel that is just so much nicer. I can twist better on one side, the other side still needs some love. So find that sweet spot. When you're ready, you're rolling over. So it's the top of the hip and then the bottom of the rib. And just start to just rock forward and backwards. Isn't it interesting how tight we can become? And then again, the difference is the imbalance between your right and your left. You know your body. If there's a bit that, oh, it really needs a bit more attention, please do so. It's not designed to be completely comfortable, by the way. It is designed just to work on those trigger points, those hot spots in your body that can cause referred pain. And then with some deep tissue massage, and that's what this is, we can release a lot of tension in the body. Use that deep breath. When you're ready, come into your midline, and if you want to go over the roller, you can. If you want to, stretch out that top leg. Just really help us to get in and around the hip joint. Again, there may be some tenderness around the ribs, around the hip. I expect it. If you've ever had a quality sports massage, you never leave floating. You leave battered and bruised. But my word, you'll feel better in a couple of days. When you're ready, come back up. If you come onto your knees for me and just give yourself a moment here. Go, ooh, ooh, ooh. Twisting right, twisting left. It's all feeling good. It's all going on, right? How's that feel? Nice? Give me a thumbs up. Tell me that you're all right. Good. Well done, my loves. Right. Always a favourite with me. We're going to now look at the quads. So in the first place, I think what we'll do, we'll go through vastus medialis. So we'll go through the front of the thighs first. So when you come onto the roller, you work from the hip down to the top of the knee and back again. Use your arms to pull you and work your breath. Now, if you want to, when you get to halfway up the thigh, you can pause, because that's like the biggest part of the leg and there's a lot going on here. Okay, so getting on, most of you have done this with me before anyway. So start at the back of your space, okay, and start at your top of your thighs, your pubic bone. If you want to be on your pubic bone, completely fine too. There's a really cool trigger point there that might release off a lot of tension in the pelvic floor and your core muscles. And then when you're ready, take your arms in front of you, use your breath and your upper body to bring yourself forward and backwards. Lovely. Okay, enjoy that. Enjoy how that feels on your thighs. So, and if you haven't been doing this for a while, again, use that breath because it becomes quite uncomfortable. I'm not selling this well, am I? Lovely. And I love to really slow it down, because I really like, what do you think to all of those sounds? Right, okay, feet wide, toes turned out. Pull yourself forward and you're starting to experience the inner thigh. Now, if you want to bring up your heels, that's a nice position, maybe not as tender for some. Okay, that's lovely. And the opposite, toes together, heels out. Let's roll. So if you want to cross your feet on top of each other, squeeze your thighs together, allow those heels to roll out. Great, great. Lovely. Okay, so that's quite strong. So if you want to just pop your knees down for a second, catch your breath. Bring your legs into more of a neutral alignment so your thighs aren't particularly together. Roll forward a little and bring your chest onto your mat. Okay. If you can, see if your toes can touch the ground. So there's a little bit of a rock, creating a little bit of space in the low back. Pat, can you take my phone and take that call for me, please? Yeah, thank you. It's wrong about, it's right by there. Okay. Right, so take your feet together and swing your hips, feet side to side for a moment. How does that feel in your low back? And when you're ready, see if you can get your knees down on the mat and your boobs. So it's quite a big stretch, and that tends to come into a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis. Why is that good? That helps us to stretch out those deep psoas muscles, which we can't always get to. Ooh. Lovely jubbly. Take your hands to your sides. Push yourself up and back into child's pose just for a moment. Lovely. So let's engage those core muscles deeper. Okay. Right. So from here, we are coming down onto our forearms, 1, 2. Walk out your elbows until the point when you can't go any further. Then you start to roll forward and back. So we're using core power to pull ourselves backwards. Give me 4 more of these, please. And resting my legs. How are we feeling? Pummeled. We're okay. Fab, 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 fab. Okay, so we're moving around your space. I'd like us now to lie on our backs and pop the soles of our feet on the foam roller. So I'm going to do a little bit of bridge work. I apologise in advance for what's going to happen to your hamstrings, but that's just the way we roll with it. Right. To start, let's kick this off gently. Arches of the feet on your roller, heels towards your bottom, hands on the floor, palm down. We're slowly rolling up, up, up into a bridge and slowly lowering down. Lovely. Now, if you want to adjust the distance of your feet, I'm going to start in neutral, but if you feel the need to go wider, that's fine. The beautiful thing here is that we're having a really cool massage of your spine as we rise as high as you can and lower, really getting that fantastic stretch around the stabilizing muscles of the spine. So this one fills me with joy. I love this. All the way to the top. All the way to the bottom. Lovely. Now, everyone, push the roller out 2, 3, 4 inches. Good. Let's roll up again. Roll down again. 2, 3 more of these. So you can feel now how the stress is coming into the hamstrings. Pressing your heels into the roller, using your glutes, so squeeze your butt muscles to get that height. Hopefully we're all okay. Well done, spine down. When you're ready, walk your feet out a little further. Hello, hamstrings. We come up. And down. Up and down. Well done. Up and down. Good stuff. Last time, up and down, and then straighten off your legs. Hello. So try and do this for me. Your heels are on the top of your roller and just roll in and out and in and out for a second. Got it? Lovely jubbly. So we're going, sorry, I said in and out. I meant side to side, like windscreen wipers, side to side. So your hips doing internal, external rotation, okay? So that's the first bit. Lovely. Right, now walk as you lie there. I want you to walk the roller in. So for a moment, it's just at the bottom of the ankle. And again, just wave side to side. There you go. But now come into the calf, right leg over left. Okay. When your right leg is over your left, okay, push your left leg into the roller side to side. So you're just getting a bit of a calf massage there. When you're lying flat, this is a reduced intensity. Uncross, recross, and just roll side to side. When you sit up, increases the intensity. But for now, because we haven't done this for a little while, we go into the lower level. Okay, if any of that made sense. Then from there, we are coming back. This time, it's a little sequence, okay? The heels start close to the bum. We come up into a bridge. We walk the roller out, whilst keeping the hips nice and high. Go as far as you can and then lay the spine down. Then you walk the feet back in, okay? So that's phase one. So roller close to bum, hips lift into bridge as high as you can, feet walk you out on the roller as far as you can, let your spine come down, hello, and then walking your feet to your bum again. Last time, hello hamstrings. So we come up, walk your feet out, lay your spine down, stretch out through your legs. Okay, what's the opposite? The opposite is the roller is out nice and far. We come up into a bridge and walk. Oh, shoot. I can't even do that. Hips lift, walk roller to bum, and then lay your spine back down. Well done, and release. We're only going to do one of those because that was just cruel. Hold on to your knees, forget about the roller for a second, and just stretch off your back. Well done. I'm sure that when I used to teach this on a regular basis, I'm sure it didn't feel this cruel or painful. I really feel like I've been really punishing you this morning. Release again, feet behind you. A few more things. Okay, let's have a look at engaging our core from this position. Hands directly onto the top of the roller, shoulders directly on top of the wrists, toes curled under. Option one, float knees. Option two, down dog. Or a combination of both, knee float, down dog. Knee float, down dog. Take your time, use your breath. Take your time, use your breath. Lovely. Curl your toes, sit back, just roll off your wrist for a second. Crikey. Whew. We take the roller behind us. Then we kneel and pop your ankles onto the roller. We got that? Okay. From here, we're going to use the bottom to come into a posterior tilt. So from an upright position, we tuck under. This will give us an increased stretch and lengthening of the front of the thigh. From here, we bring ourselves up. We drive ourselves forward using the gluteals. Then we lean back, come back to center, and lower down. Posterior tilt. Squeeze the glutes, come forward, straight back, lean back, and then drop your bottom down. So there's a little bit of a flow there in the movement. I think we might need to change cameras for a second. Okay, so it's a tilt. Are you there, Pudge? So there's a tilt, then a drive. Pudge, you there? Lean back, lift, lower. Good. Let's try that again. So it's the posterior tilt is the first bit. That's really, really important. Use the gluteals to drive yourself forward. Now here, if you want to add in the arms, we lean back and then we lower down. I'm going to show you a couple of progressions here. Same movement, tilt back and drive up. I lean back and rotate. Rotate. And then sit back down. Tilt. Rise. So there's your rotation. Now we wouldn't have been so successful on this movement if we hadn't gone through that massage around the obliques, okay? So you should be a bit more freer in your trunk. If that's all too much, you don't have to use the roller at all. This is all about stretching around the knee joint. So your knee will feel lush at the end of this, I promise, okay? It's all about finding the thing that works for you. We're all extremely different creatures. The other thing you find in this position, you do get that, what's it called, lymphatic flush. So a bit of a drainage because there's so much compression going on through the trunk in the movement. So that's quite a nice thing. Be mindful of the pelvic floor, that we're not pushing down too much, that there's that engagement in the pelvic floor too. Got it? Well done. Gently, gracefully dismount. So straight away you'll be like, oh, hello. Legs feel better. Okay, now we're taking the roller and we're going to sit on it. So this one's always quite interesting. So because of the tenderness many of us struggle with, it might be your bum cheek. You might feel comfortable both sit bones. You might want to move on to one side, straight leg, bent knee. Have a little play with this. What I'm trying to look for here is that we start to release east to west of the pelvic floor, so the side walls of the pelvic floor, and we can do that nicely by simply massaging and rolling right the way north to south through the pelvic floor, okay? So we're rolling forward and backwards. I'm doing this with a bent knee. Both sides, I'm having a play with it because I'm like, oh, I can feel that. That doesn't feel good, or that feels better. You can do it both feet wide. I do encourage this type of release work, particularly when we are doing Pilates, a lot of pelvic floor work. We're very good at contracting and lifting, not so good at releasing tone. So sometimes we might be too tight and engaged through the pelvic floor, and this will help us to release some of the muscle tension that can create imbalances in the back. Okay, so if it's too tender, I do recommend that you just come onto one bum cheek, but also just have a little play here, just reinforcing that message that we're all so different and we just don't know what's going on in each other's anatomy. So giving you all sorts of options. Ooh, lovely, lovely. Well done. Okay, so with that said, I am now on the back of my thighs, front of my sit bones. Can we just change cameras a minute, Pudge? Is what I'm going to try and encourage here is a way to sit whilst doing any mindfulness. So the key is rather than the ankles crossed, the heels are just, the heel is in line to the front of the foot. Okay, and once you're in that position, it's almost like the top side of the feet is touching the mat. Then you can roll forward. Now this can be just for a moment. Work on making this a longer process. And the other interesting thing that happens here is that you need to relax your bum cheeks. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm here. So again, I found this quite a challenging hold for many years, but this I'm finding is improving the more we're doing the fascia release work and pliability. Okay, so we are going to switch legs. So uncross, recross. Always, if you want to just sit forward, that's fine too. So think foot alignment, front heel into that little crook of the ankle, pull in, and then when you're ready, because you're supported on the roller, you just roll forward onto the front of your shins. Use this as breath time. Try and release, relax. And if you are here and you're comfortable, think long spine. So in order to really maximize that long spine, shoulders back and down, which will allow your arms to open up and your hands to roll, fingers gently curl. So that's all to do with that long spine there. Okay, nice and relaxed. From here, we're going to continue seated relaxation for a few moments. If you prefer to lie down or adjust your limbs, feel free to do so. Today, a little quiet time. Think about your breathing. Any voices in your head that's saying I can't or not good enough. Let's just dial that down. And a good way to do that is to remember a time when you were utterly on fire in your place, whatever that was, that time when you just felt confident and great and invincible. Now turn that memory into a really bright movie. So same memory, but brighter, lighter, noisier, more vibrant. Just that memory, you're just dialing it up. And just remembering that it's still you. It is still you. But sometimes life enables us to forget us. So we're still us. We have the benefit of wisdom and age. And just generally, just ditching it all the rubbish. We don't need that. We just need to surround ourselves by amazing energy and great people that lift each other up, shine light on each other, because we don't need any of that rubbish. Well, that's your movie of your life with your soundtrack. And we make this positive because your life's not done. We've still got chapters ahead where it's just going to get brighter, maybe musical, lively. But the biggest driver will always be love, whatever that looks like, whoever that looks like. But it always starts with you, being kind to you, supporting you, loving you. You're in charge of your own destiny. And you have so got this. When you're ready, I want us to open our eyes, create some movement to our fingers, to our shoulders. If you need to adjust your feet and legs, feel free. Take your arms out wide. Relax your shoulders. And then bring your hands together into a round of applause because you are insanely wonderful, and thank you very much.